As they say, the night is always darkest before the dawn. I finally got a glimmer of hope. I had spent many hours prior to this, scouring the internet for some magic cure. I tried a wide range of holistic treatments from meditation and breathing techniques, transcranial magnetic stimulation, supplements, teas, cold showers, vagus nerve stimulation methods, cognitive behavior therapy. Everything the internet had to offer, I tried it. Finally, I came across a different method developed by Dr. Claire Weeks in her groundbreaking book, Hope and Help for Your Nerves. She outlined a unique approach that involved taking the position of acceptance as opposed to resistance. I applied the concepts rigorously, and slowly I began to gain back some control over these miserable symptoms. The first symptoms to improve were the panic attacks, which felt like a huge leap at the time. I imagined that this progress would be linear, and therefore I'd be fully recovered in just a few months. But that wasn't quite the case. 3 months came and went, and I was still stuck in the cycle, but it was a much more tolerable form. My major symptoms at this time were constant brain zaps, surges of anxiety, followed by the dull agony of fatigue. My mind was always buzzing with intrusive thoughts and ruminations. I had become a master of concealing my suffering. On the outside, I was seemingly fine. I played with my children, went on vacations, interacted with coworkers. All the while, my focus was internal, hating the anxiety, dreading the next wave of it, being so exhausted that I felt like I might just turn to dust and blow away. I became frustrated with acceptance. Why had it seemed to work better for others than for myself? I started to fear that it was all just another gimmick. At this point, I was finally able to get in to see a psychiatrist. My expectations were low, but I hoped for some morsel of wisdom, some overlooked method that the vast world of the internet couldn't provide, but found nothing new. Slowly there was some improvement, but I just couldn't get all the way there. And after all that, I had a breakthrough realization about the nature of my ruminations and intrusive thoughts, and decided to just lean into them and allow them to exist, really facing those fears that I had been too terrified to indulge in before. I think it was this approach that I'll describe in detail later on that gave me that extra mile. My ruminations became shorter and less infrequent. I started having days where I only had a few anxiety surges instead of 20. It went on this way, 3 steps forward and 2 steps back for another couple months, until the zaps were just a hum in the background that I hardly cared to think about at all. It was at this stage where the moments between surges were so long that I began to fear their return. The "what if it comes back like it was in the beginning?" question plagued me. But I stayed true to the principles and applied them to this new fear, and it lost its power. That's the final piece of the puzzle. For once your nerves have had that opportunity to rest and recover, you're desensitized, and your sympathetic system can properly regulate your anxiety response once again. I no longer fear the return of panic disorder because the tools I used to beat it are so deeply ingrained into my subconscious that I apply them without even thinking about them. And if it comes back in 5 or 10 years, I'll just apply these same principles again, so it won't ever be able to trick me into fearing the sensation of fear again.